Bank of the West is offering the 1% for the Planet checking account. It gives back to the planet at no cost to you, and there's no monthly service charge with any deposit per statement. Only from Bank of the West. Learn more at bankofthewest.com/1%. Additional conditions apply. Member FDIC.
The Bachelorette and Friends. From first love to happy ever after.
What's that?
From dating to dick pics.
Oh my.
Oh no! The Bachelorette and Friends. Oh, I love a good dick.
This podcast contains sexual references, coarse language, and adult themes from the beginning and throughout. It is not recommended for listeners under the age of 15.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Bachelorette and Friends. I'm Carla Anita Matiazzo, and to my left is my co-host for today, Lainey Jameson. Morning, Lainey.
Good morning, Carla girl.
Today's guest is fabulous, saucy actor David Daradan. How you going, David?
Good, thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Welcome to the podcast. Thanks for coming on this public holiday. It's lovely to have you.
It is. It's my absolute pleasure.
So let's tell the audience how we met, David. How did we meet? Refresh my memory.
I think when we initially met was at an acting workshop. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I think that's when we first met. It was an acting workshop, and then it was there that we kind of figured out a mutual friend. Is that right?
Yeah, because it's Ile and Nicole that are
correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
and I reckon that's.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's pretty much the extent of what I was about to say. I think I was just going to shadow my own voice, because that's what I tend to do a lot. You know, I tend to repeat myself over and over again just to kind of reinforce into my pea brain that I said the right thing. Yeah.
Well done, David. Well done. So
I don't think you're the only one, David.
So to bring the listeners up to speed, this podcast is based on the premise of my award-winning cabaret show, The Bachelorette. There's always a catch, where I talk and sing about my first love to what I thought was happy ever after and everything in between. So let's start there, David. Can you remember your first crush?
My first crush. Dear Lord. Jesus Christ, I reckon it's going to go back to primary school, and I had a crush on my teacher.
Oh, you're the second person that said their teacher. Yeah.
I had a teacher, Miss Anna, her name was, and she was, I remember she was just, I was just awestruck by her. Yeah, and I would have been probably about 7 or 8 years old at the time. Yeah. I'm surprised I can remember that far.
Year 2? Is that year 2?
3, I think. 2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah, cute. So did you have any crushes on any of your peers throughout your schooling?
On my peers? Well, I had many. There was a girl at primary school. Her name was Laura. Had a crush on Laura. We were boyfriend and girlfriend for probably about a day. Until I was swiftly dumped for being an awkward little kid. And I'm still an awkward kid today. That's pretty much how it works. Some things just don't change, Carla. Yeah.
So what was it about Laura that captivated you as a young man?
She was a girl. That much I don't remember. I could come up with an interesting tale, but I just found her really cute, I guess, and I didn't know how to talk to her, so that's probably what it was. The fact that I didn't know what to say to her. That's probably
and that's not usual for you. You're never lost for words, David.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I talk too much, but no. There once was a stage where, I didn't really say much because I was a very shy kid. Even throughout high school, I was a very shy kid.
So what changed? How did you become the man you are today? Because you're not shy anymore.
I guess probably not. But what changed it for me? I guess I would definitely say just getting into my acting classes, hanging around with my friend, being around friends that I'm comfortable with, and that that kind of accepted me and appreciated me for who I was, and that kind of gave me the confidence to embrace myself. Acting classes helped me get out of my skin a little bit more, and
Brilliant.
now I have this need to just constantly annoy people.
I wouldn't say it's annoying.
No,
it's annoying.
no. Like I like to bust nuts a lot of the time. That's kind of that's how I go about my day. It's what gets me through.
Thing. It's your
Maybe
thing.
you're making up for lost time, David, when you were a shy little fella.
Oh, I think you're absolutely right there, Lainey. Because I was the one getting my nuts busted when I was a kid.
Yeah, I hear you there, my friend.
Yeah.
I hear you there.
I'm getting mine back. So watch out.
Look
Don't
out,
move.
everybody.
Oh, watch out. Muscle pose. I love it.
So from there, David, what was your... So I like to explain to the audience nearly every episode. I call high school relationships training wheel relationships, because that's where you work out what you want, boundaries and whatnot, without the pressure of adulting, which is always handy and makes things a bit easier and funner. Did you have any training wheel relationships as a teenager, and how did they come together and fall apart?
Yeah, I had a couple. So I had my first kiss in I think it was year 9. Yeah, it was year 9. So I would have been about 14 years old. And there was a girl that I had a real strong crush on. And again, I was very awkward around her, and I couldn't express my my feelings toward her. But eventually, I got the girl, and there was a mutual kind of attraction there. And I guess it all started from figuring out, okay, how am I going to kiss this girl? How do I kiss a girl? Back then there was no Google, there was no internet like these kids have these days. You know what I mean?
They could have just Googled it.
Yeah.
I could have just Googled it, and all my problems would have been. I practiced on a pillow, you know.
I think you and I were very similar, David, in our childhood.
Yeah, I was quite a messed up kid. If only you were a fly on the wall in my bedroom, Jesus. So eventually she's the one that kind of initiated, the kissing, because it obviously wasn't her first kiss. So,
what do you mean it obviously wasn't? What? Why obviously?
Well, because she had a boyfriend. She had a boyfriend in year 8, and
gotcha.
Yes, and she told me that she had kissed someone before. So she pulled me in and kind of guided the way, and then what happened from there was just it was the sloppiest.
Oh God.
It was the first like French kiss that you do. It's always it's at the time I'm thinking this is amazing. I'm like, woohoo, I'm finally doing it. But just thinking back now, it was pretty disgusting.
Yeah, I can just imagine. Look,
just imagine a couple of cows just like licking each other's.
And some people don't get any better, David. Some people don't reflect upon their kissing technique, and they don't get any better.
It's important. You have to reflect and because otherwise, you can't grow from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, correct. I think I've kissed a few boys in my time, and I can tell you there's definitely good kisses and definitely fucking terrible kisses. And what would you say, what would you recommend, David, if, say, a chick, say if anyone's kissing anybody, it doesn't matter what sex, how would one give constructive feedback without hurting the other person's feelings?
You can't. Unfortunately, that's just the way it works. You know what? You just got the person receiving the criticism just has to harden the fuck up and just get the fuck over it. Move on. You know what I mean? It's like you're playing, you're training it for your basketball team, and the coach tells you, you got to pass the ball a little bit better. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? You're going to sit there and cry and moan about it all day, or are you going to work on your passing? You're going to work on your passing.
This is true. Or I suppose somebody could word it maybe in, it could be phrased like, I like it when somebody does this when they kiss me. That's, that's diplomatic. Could you say, David?
Nah, maybe just say, don't kiss me like a camel, that's a bit, that I think that you just got to go out with the hard, honest truth. Because when you sugarcoat things,
people don't get it.
People tend to, that sets people up to be sensitive, little, people.
Yeah, it's better to be direct. I find myself often thinking too much about how somebody else is feeling from what I'm saying and having to double explain fucking everything just for the benefit of other people. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, okay.
Riding on a good kiss.
What was that, Lainey?
How much is riding on a good kiss? If they're a terrible kisser, just changes the whole dynamic.
It does.
You want to live the rest of your life, kissing some jalopy, you know what I mean? You definitely don't want to,
No,
First kisses
thank
are
you.
important. They are very important.
Yeah, it's definitely the start position, I would say. If the kiss is bad, generally the rest of what's to come is not good either.
No.
True.
Yeah. But now we've got Google, so you can just say, "Oh, look, let me just forward you a link here." No big deal. I think you'll find this pretty interesting. Just check it out. Just that. I think that's, if there's a swift way of doing it, just send it. There's certainly a Google. There's some article out
somewhere.
there. There should be something. Just sneak one over.
So how many relationships did you have in high school, David? Do you remember?
In high school? Oh, not many. They were very short relationships as well. So I reckon I probably had about 3 very short relationships that would not go longer than a month. And then in year 12, that's where I met my first love. And we were together for about a year, I'd want to say.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So that was the first relationship that I had.
So what was it about circumstances or her that made that relationship last for a year? Because that's a long time in high school.
Yeah, I think, again, I'm just a dumb kid. No, she was actually lovely. She was really lovely.
Yeah.
She had a great sense of humor, and that's what made us click. We both had very similar senses of humor. She was a bit crazy, which I liked. She didn't mind breaking my balls as well, which was like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. I'm down with that. But in a funny way. But I guess her and I both were just figuring it out. How to navigate our way through this thing. And so it was a good experience.
So through those training wheel relationships in high school, what were the lessons that you learnt throughout those relationships, David? Or did you learn any lessons?
No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Are the best words to learn. the best lessons I learned is the ways to show appreciation to your female counterpart, or to whatever partner you have, is to show your love and appreciation for them.
And how do you go about doing that, David? How do you go about showing?
Just little things. I mean, I'm not sure if this is what I did back then. I can't remember that vividly, but just small things like offer to give him a neck massage, or offer to, even with cuddling, tell them what how you feel, just be open with your partner emotionally, because I know that's very important to women as well. So
yeah, it makes things a lot easier when people are open and communication is consistent. So
100%.
From your relationship experience in general and dating experience in general, in the show we talk about the catches that I've collected along the way. And one of the catches that I've had, or maybe one of my quirks that I've had relayed back to me in every adult relationship, is the fact that I use too much toilet paper. So have you come across any catches or any quirks that have been relayed back to you, or have you come across any catches yourself in your relationship dating journey?
First off, in this current climate, you got to be careful with the toilet paper distribution usage, right? You got to be careful, because we're going to run out soon enough. Now, quirks that are you saying that I've picked up along the way from relationships?
Yeah.
Previous relationships? No, I can't. Nothing really sticks out to me, to be honest with you. Maybe, what does tend to happen throughout relationships is when you kind of start to speak in similar patterns, and you kind of develop certain little quotes and things that you kind of, that you pick up from your partner, or they pick up from you. I think that's probably that's probably the biggest thing for me, but I can't really think of anything specific off the top of my head, but I do know that that's one thing that tends to happen with me.
Yeah, interesting. Would it be the same? You know how sometimes couples dress the same? Would that be the same thing?
Sometimes I've accidentally matched with my girlfriends in the past, and much to their some of them were happy about it. Some of them were like, why are we literally wearing the same outfit? And they'd get really upset. And then they would have to change, because I've already gone there, so I can't change into anything else. So they have to then decide what else to wear.
But was that by accident, or?
Oh, of course. No, you know what though? I wish it wasn't though at the same time, because I know that I like to get under people's skin in that way. So it's the ultimate prank. It's the ultimate prank.
Oh, David. So in your dating journey, do you have any highlights in your dating journey reel, or any lowlights that you'd like to share?
I do have a Tinder tale.
Oh, let's hear it.
Ooh.
It's now just going to set this up as being potentially one of the greatest Tinder stories of all time.
Oh.
So yeah, there was this girl that I matched up with on Tinder. This was many years ago. I actually can't even remember her name now. Maybe that was that part of my brain that just wanted to erase that part of my, that time of my life. So I matched this girl on Tinder, and how it works. You start to chat on there, and if things seem right, then you organise to meet for a first date. Mm-hmm. Sure enough, we did, and the first date went really well. Surprisingly well. We got along very well. The discussions was there. It was there was a bit of attraction there too. So it was like, oh, cool. So the first date finished, and we had arranged to catch up for a second time, right? So which is quite rare in the Tinder world. Either it's great or it's disastrous, right? So the second date, we organised to meet, arranged to meet in the city somewhere, and she calls me on the day and says, Dave, my car's broken down. Do you mind picking me up from my place on the way? And I'm like, sure, just send me your address and I'll come pick you up, no worries. So she sends me the address, and she said, text me when you arrive, when you're outside. I'm like, okay. So I get to her place, I text her, I'm here, and then she shoots me a text back saying, hey, change your plans. Do you want to just kind of come inside here and we'll watch a movie together? And I'm thinking, I start thinking, yeah.
Oh yeah, because you're gonna get laid.
I'm thinking, I'm thinking.
Gonna get lucky.
It's happening, right? I'm getting laid, and so my stupid male brain is going, no worries, and I'm already celebrating in my mind,
right?
Which is a lesson to all to never celebrate too early before the deed is done, or before you hit that final shot. On the buzzer, don't celebrate before it goes in, because it might not.
Correct.
And so I go to her door, I knock, and sure enough, there she is. She greets me at her door, and she walks me in. And she goes, oh, yeah, just come into the lounge room. And I walk into the lounge room, and they're sitting, awaiting my arrival. Her two parents with a platter of food, and they're just looking up at me, gazing up at me with glasses of wine, and like, oh, you must be David. We've heard so much about you.
Oh, fuck, David.
And I'm like, hi, dying on the inside. And obviously I'm not an asshole, right? So I'm going to be polite to these people.
Yes, correct.
So I'm just running on instinct here. I'm like, oh, hi, how you doing? Yes, good.
She should have told you that was the situation. That's a bit shit.
She didn't tell me the situation. No, it gets worse. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to say hello to the parents, and am I banging you in your room? Is that what's happening today? Or I don't know. Okay. If not, cool. Anyway, so then she walks through the lounge room. She goes, oh, so what movie should we all watch tonight?
Oh no, what the fuck?
So I got this platter of food, and might I say,
was it a good
Carly,
platter?
Nah, it definitely was not an ethnic platter. Carla, you would know.
Yes, I do.
What an ethnic platter looks like. This is definitely not that.
Oh,
had a few nuts, and so if the platter was decent, I would have given them the benefit of the doubt, but that was a deal breaker for me right there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's not even the fact that it was her parents that kind of greeted me, that I got introduced to the parents on the second date, but the platter of food was just subpar.
Yeah, no. We won't have that, David. We won't have that.
No. So I'm thinking in my mind, how the fuck do I get out of this shit show? But I didn't. I kind of stuck through it, and I sat and I watched a movie with him, and she is trying to cuddle into me on the couch with her parents there, and I'm trying to wriggle my way out like an earthworm, trying to get out of the dirt. And so that the film finished. Parents went to bed, and she's trying to make out with me, and I'm like, I cannot do this.
No.
Cannot do this.
How old were you, David? How old were you?
I reckon I was about 25.
Yeah, no.
26.
No. We can't be having, no, it's a different thing when you're a teenager and obviously you live with your parents. But when you're an 100%. Adult, if you are still living with your parents, do not bring somebody from a second date home and expect them to hang out with your parents. That's not appropriate.
No.
That's a 3-month into it thing. That's not 100%. A second date. Mamma mia.
No, God no. So that's what happened. And then I left, and look, I'll admit this is the part of me where I feel kind of like an asshole, but at the same time, I didn't know what the fuck to do. But I ghosted her. So
yeah, well, I think most dudes would.
Yeah.
I don't understand where she would have gone from. Okay, we're in our mid-20s. I'm
Yeah.
going to bring this guy. He's going to come over. Do you reckon her car was actually broken?
I don't know. I think this is all part of, because like I said, the platter made me think, was this a part of the plan?
Yeah.
Did she kind of construct this plan in her
I
mind
reckon that's what it was.
to kind of groom me
Yeah.
into going into her home and introducing me to her parents?
Or
You know?
was she living with her parents? Was she living with her parents?
Yeah,
Or was
she would have been.
living? Yeah.
Or is that actually just her going to her folks' place? Ooh, interesting.
So many questions.
Did she, was it her house though? Was she living there, David? You would have known.
Well, I didn't actually go into the bedroom because I didn't want to. Too weird.
Too weird. I couldn't.
Too many alarm bells there.
Yeah, no. Nope. No. No, I'm just putting myself in your shoes, David, and trying to. Yeah, I would have definitely taken that person aside and gone, what the fuck? Like, what's going on here? Because
I didn't.
You needed to give me a heads up about this. This is not cool.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I just ghosted her.
That is completely fair.
Well, that's the easy option, isn't it, David? It's the easy option.
It is. Listen, in those times, I think it's best to not confront them because she may be a serial killer. You know.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Just drift away into the wind.
Oh man. Jesus. So that would have been a good learning curve for you, David. So that would you say that was a low point in your dating sphere?
Well, yeah, I'd say so. I'd say it's probably the funniest story that I have.
Yeah.
I can't say that I've ever been in an abusive relationship or anything like that.
Yeah.
So they just haven't worked out.
Yeah, sure.
Not anymore. I am. I mean, I have a girlfriend now, and she's amazing. She's wonderful.
Yeah, she's beautiful. That photo that you put up on Facebook, I think it's your profile picture. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
How did you guys meet?
Ironically,
Tinder.
Yeah. So you gotta have you got one extreme, now you got the other. Somehow met a beautiful, wonderful person on there.
Oh, that's nice.
And that was we actually, I believe, we were both window shopping during the lockdown.
So, David, what parting words of wisdom do you have for our listeners today?
Be yourself, embrace who you are, don't be a soft cock, own who you are, and if you can do that, then you'll attract whatever person you want to attract in your life.
Excellent, David. Thank you so much for coming on this morning. You have been an absolute delight, and that Tinder story was fantastic, and it's great you have found somebody excellent on the same medium as well.
Yes, thank you so much. Very happy over this side, and thank you so much for having me today. This was a lot of fun.
The Catch-A-Lorette, with friends near and far, from heartache to catfish and sex toys. The Catch-A-Lorette and friends. See you next time, if you dare.
Bank of the West is offering the 1% for the Planet checking account. It gives back 1% of the account's net revenue to the planet at no cost to you. There's no monthly service charge with any deposit per statement. and there's no minimum balance required. The 1% for the Planet checking account, only from Bank of the West. Learn more at bankofthewest.com/1%. Additional conditions apply. Member FDIC.